been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Duncan's Diamonds, your direct diamond importer. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty.
Welcome to the program. Phone lines are open, 239-277-9600 and 775-9600. Thanks to executive producer Tripod Billy. We are streaming live video at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Special thanks to our in-studio producer, Sick Rick, and a special guest, former U.S. congressional candidate Byron Donalds. Good morning, Byron and Smitty.
What's up, Southwest Florida? I'd first like to thank our title sponsor, Duncan's Diamonds, for supporting the Ledge Radio Show. They've been terrific to work with us, and we thank them. Don't forget to call them for all your needs, 877-343-4883, or visit their website at www.duncandiamonds.com for all your diamond and jewelry needs.
Thanks, Smitty. We appreciate that. Byron, welcome back, man.
Oh, man, thanks for having me.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day.
Before you start,
I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. First, let me say this. Before I take the high road, and I will.
He won't.
I will. Oh, yes, I will. Unlike yourself, because we all know that when I was in here for 8 months, I took a licking. You guys kicked me down the curb. You brought in lawyers, Republicans, Democrats. Everybody was killing me, man. You guys were smashing me in here.
Even the Democrats?
Even them were in here. You had them all coming in here. You name them. Byron came in here. David Dow was in here. Trey was in here. Oh, they were all in here, man. They were killing me. And I stood my ground. And for once, I finally came out. Vindication. Vindication. For those of you that don't know what vindication is, I will read it for you. The defense, such as evidence or argument that serves to justify a claim or deed. If it was the other way around and I'd have lost this election, man, you guys would have killed me.
I didn't know you was running.
You would have raped me, legitimately, of course, and tied me up, kicked me to the curb, left me bloody, beaten, and standing there naked going, what? What's Smitty? And I had to take that for 8 months while you guys railed me and said, you don't know what you're talking about, Smitty. You ain't got a clue. You ain't listening to what I'm listening to. I watched the polls, and polls say we're up by 7 points. You must have been looking at the North Pole, because that's the only poll you were looking at. Now that I got that out of my system,
when are you going to take the high road?
What in the heck happened? How could you lose? You had it in the bag.
Are you done?
You're like the guy that wins football games and goes, we only threw 2 times, but we lost. Yeah, you lost, man.
Are you done?
I'm just enjoying the moment, brother. I'm enjoying the moment.
You finished?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, my friend.
Well, listen.
What happened? Tell me what happened.
First of all, I will say this, Smitty. You came out on top on Tuesday. However, you're still wrong.
Of course I am.
You're wrong on the issues, man.
Of course I am. That's the greatness of the Tea Party.
You're
always wrong, even when you're right.
No, the math and the policy dictates that you're wrong. Let's
the votes dictate I'm right.
Well, listen. Let's go through this. Let's take a trip down memory lane here. We lost on Tuesday. Everybody knows that. But
303 to 206.
But here's what you got to understand. 2 things. Number 1, the vote differential state by state was no more than 3 or 4 points. Number 2, the president had less than 7 million votes than he had in 2008. Mitt Romney had 3 million less votes than John McCain had in 2008. So we had 10 million voters that never didn't show up to the polls.
That's your fault. It's not mine.
No. 7 million people did not vote for Barack Obama that voted for him in 2008.
Sour grapes.
Hear me out, Smitty. Hear me. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying.
I got it.
The people can't hear when you talk over.
You having a problem with me today?
When you have a vote down, a down vote like that, it's for 2 reasons. Number 1, this is one of the most negative campaigns that ever happened in American history. Number 2, the American people don't have confidence in either one of these men to lead the country. And that's the truth of the matter. And if you look at it that way, it always falls to the incumbent. And people just said, well, I'll just stick it out with Obama because I really don't have faith in either one of these men to lead the country. And that's because we didn't have a debate on immigration policy they like talking about right now. We didn't have a debate on the fiscal cliff like everybody's talking about right now. We had a debate on the war on women. To quote, actually I have it right here in my notes, out of the Washington Post, Scott Wilson and Philip Rucker, to quote, senior Obama campaign campaign advisors, we turned a national campaign election into a school board race. And the reason that they wanted to turn it into a school board race is because they could not win on the issues because the president was burning in flames in 2011.
Because you handed it to them. When you have guys that support your side, like Aikens and Murdoch and all those talking bad about the women and all about the repealing of all the Roe versus Wade, talking about the rape issues, you handed it to them. And you guys lost 303 to 206. Now, wait a second. I was shocked. I was stunned. I walked in the next day with him, and I said, if you'd have told me a week ago before the election that Obama was going to win by such a concise margin and run up the score 303 to 206 on the electoral and the popular vote, I would have said there's no way in the world. I would never guessed it. I wouldn't going to put money on that. But he did. How he did it, when you guys had everything, all your ducks in a row, it only says one thing, that you're not with the real world, man. You're down here in Southwest Florida, the red world.
Actually, I
277-9600 or 775-9600. Give us a call and tell us what you think.
I actually can agree with what John Nichols said earlier. He said it's hard to win against Santa Claus.
That's true.
When you got a guy giving away free crap, and you got more than half the country that wants free crap, and it's on the free crap dole of the government dime, then that's what they're going to do. They're not going to vote to get rid of their paycheck.
That's just a typical standard answer. We're going to give you free crap. We're going to give you free crap.
Smitty.
We wouldn't be on free crap if it wasn't for the war we were in. That's what gave us this. Bush, the dirty flavor in your mouth was George Bush. He still was delivering even years after he left the election. That's why the GOP never brought him out and marched him down the street.
He wasn't delivering,
He
Smitty.
wasn't on the ballot, Smitty.
No kidding. It was the
George W. Bush was not there. The last time I checked, Barack Obama has been president for the last 4 years. Hold on a minute now. Hold on a minute now, because now I'm going to kick into high gear.
You know he lost.
The last time I checked, we were in a war in Afghanistan. We have 70,000 soldiers over there. We've lost 2,000 lives since the president escalated in Afghanistan. That's a war going nowhere. The last time I checked,
Smitty,
the last time I checked, we launched $1 billion stimulus package full of tax cuts for all people, full of shovel-ready jobs. The shovel-ready jobs weren't as shovel-ready as the president thought. What happened to that, Smitty? We spent $1 trillion to have unemployment go up 2% in this election. Now, like I said, the president's campaign team in 2011 said they wanted to make this a school board race. We talked about the war on women. Todd Aiken and Richard Murdoch were in 2 states around the country.
Look,
hold on, because here's why you're wrong. But here's why you're wrong.
It's like complaining because it's raining.
Here's why you're wrong.
It's raining for both sides.
Because the same state that Todd Aiken lost, Mitt Romney won Missouri by 7 points. So what are you talking about, Smitty? I'm going to break down what the president did. Because the president's campaign was executed effectively, it was precise, and it was very well done.
Magical.
They started in 2011. They started investing in outreach programs and in grassroots efforts in 2011 in the swing states. That's what the president's team
absolutely.
did. They did that for 2 years.
8 out of 9 of the swing states he won.
That's what they did. They micro-targeted. They were built. They had offices up in those states. They had 4 Organizing for America offices in Lee County.
They were smart. They were smart. They did a good job.
Well, instead of the president actually passing any meaningful legislation, he campaigned for 4 years.
Well,
let's take a call. We've got Robert from Naples on line 1. Robert, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty and Byron.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, buddy. What you got for us today?
As a longtime Republican, I actually had to vote for President Obama this time because I was disgusted with the candidate, for one thing. He just couldn't tell the truth. He wouldn't give specifics. Things were actually improving, albeit very, very slowly, with a net job gain of only 154,000 jobs in the 4 years. But the fact of the matter was, there was job growth. And it was things, and it's wasn't about giving to, because I'm a disabled veteran. I got hurt, and I'm 100% disabled, and I found it really hard to do what I did. But there's 5 of us that hang out, 5 veterans hang out. 3 of them wrote in Ron Paul, one voted for Gary Johnson, and I voted for President Obama. And they're like the school board, you said everything is local. All politics are local, and they wanted it to be local. They wanted it to affect you personally. And under me personally, the Veterans Administration. Fighting the Veterans Administration for benefits that we earned was much easier, and under the presidency of Barack Obama, he made it a great deal easier.
Well,
so that's what I said. I'm part of Party 47%, and I'm proud of the fact that I served. I didn't want to get hurt. Nobody wanted to get hurt.
Well,
but we did.
First, I'd like to thank you for serving for the office. And
I
thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Let me ask you a question. Do you think the fact that people are looking at this election saying, President Obama got a dirty deal and was so dirty that we're still going to give him 4 more years, did that affect you in any way?
In a way it did, because when I saw Jeb Bush, one of the things that pushed me up is Jeb Bush got up and said, oh, yeah, they're all still blaming this on their brother. They never accepted the responsibility in the first place for the crash and the burn that we went through. They kept saying, well, yeah, I know, 2 years, now Obama owns it. But when someone hands you a heaping pile of crap and gives you a teaspoon to work with, and you don't clean it up fast enough, that's not an argument. That is not an argument.
Right.
Well, my point is, and again, I want to thank you
Thanks,
for your
Robert.
service as well.
Thanks for serving.
I want to thank him for his service as well. My point to his argument is that it's like driving down the road. You know when you're going in the right direction, and you know when you're not. And it is crystal clear that the president's economic plans are not going to do that. It's evident by what Jay Carney was talking about yesterday during the president's briefing. They asked him questions about, will the president's tax plan, raising income taxes on the top 2%, however they like to characterize it, will that lead to further economic growth, which the CBO says it does not, and will that also lead to a meaningful material reduction in the deficit? Jay Carney couldn't answer that question because the truth of the matter is
the answer is no.
The answer is no.
But there's flexibility.
They will not do it.
There's flexibility, and I think he's willing to be flexible. Let's take another call.
We've got Denise from Lehigh on line 2. Denise, you're on the Ledge Radio Show. Denise, are you there?
Yes.
Hey, what you got for us this morning?
So I worked out in Bells Lake, Pahokee area in Florida when Obama first ran in 2008. And I can tell you the same thing happened now. They went around to every single African-American 18 and older and asked if they were registered to vote. If they weren't, they drove them up. They registered them to vote. They paid them. They drove them home. On Election Day, they went around with buses, picked everyone up. Once they were done voting, they paid them again, and they drove them home. And if you send people out to Bells Lake and Pahokee, they will tell you out there that they got paid to vote for Obama.
I can believe that. Thanks for your call, Denise. I appreciate you listening. That's something that we were talking about earlier, Byron. Mm-hmm. When you've got, and this is the way I see things as far as how this election goes. We've got what I would consider a large group of Americans that are dependent on the government at this point.
Yeah.
Then you've got but them by themselves are not large enough to make the majority to seal the vote. But then you've got another group of Americans that empathize with them, that vote for them because they think that they're not strong enough to pull their own weight. So you got this other large group that adds to the group that's on the dole. Well, we're past that tipping point. Now we've got clearly more than 51% that are on the dole, that empathize with the dole, and I don't see us ever getting another Republican president, because I'll guarantee you that Barack Obama will put at least another 20 million Americans on welfare or Medicaid or food stamps in the next 4 years. And when you get another 20 million on it, that's 20 million more that are going to vote for him to keep their check next term.
No, go ahead.
No, just to let everybody know, if you have a voice, you want to give us a call and ask Byron a question or ask JD a question, or give us a call at 277-9600 or 775-9600. Give us a call, guys.
You're not taking questions, Smitty?
Oh, sure.
Well, now I've got something
a great day
too.
For me. You can call me too.
I want to let the folks know that we got a couple little contests.
Right.
We got a couple little contests today. We were, I'll be doing a live remote next Saturday, the 17th, at the Redneck Yacht Club.
Where is that?
It's in Punta Gorda on Vermont Road. It's about 3 miles east of State Road 31. We'll be there from 10 to noon, and then I'll be there after the live remote. And when the bands kick off, I'm going to be up on stage giving out some free crap for everybody that likes free stuff. We know at least 51% of America likes free stuff, so maybe they'll be out there to get their free crap.
That's the only thing you'll give away free.
Exactly. But when we come back from the break, we're gonna have a little contest. I got 4 free passes, weekend passes for the Redneck Yacht Club. It's a $200 value. Gets you in from the 16th to the 18th of this month to the Redneck Yacht Club. We'll be right back.
Lex and Terry, 6 to 10 p.m.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I got Guns N' Roses tattoos on both my
Oh, great. I don't want to talk about guns, all right, man? Let's talk about my new stuff.
All right. Well, when you going to put out a new album?
I just did.
I got that one. When you going to put out another one?
Oh, God, man. What am I your bitch or something, man? I just put out a new album. I'm on tour with it, dude.
Lex and Terry on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm, security, and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2 000046.
Ally Bank. Why they don't hide things in the fine print.
That'll be $34.50.
I think the ad says it's half off.
If you look closely, it says only on Tuesdays.
It is Tuesday.
In October.
It is October.
During leap years.
This is a leap year.
After the first frost.
Oh, please.
Nobody likes when things are hidden in fine print. That's why Ally doesn't do it. Ally Bank. Your money needs an ally. Member FDIC.
At Grainger, we understand running a facility means wearing a lot of hats. One minute you're replacing a condenser fan motor, the next you're swapping out fluorescent bulbs. That's why we offer over 900,000 products in 31 product categories. Many ready right when you need them, from HVAC equipment to safety supplies. Whatever you need, even if it's a new hat. Yeah, we've got those too. To help keep your business running efficiently, call, click Grainger.com, or stop by a branch today. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you open a checking account, it all seems clear and straightforward. But after a while, things start to elephant sliding down a ramp slick with peanut butter laced with goat hoof. And that's usually when it stops making sense, and half the chicken coop roosts during ping-pong France, and you end up angry and confused. But at Fifth Third Bank, we listened when you said you didn't want that. So we made our 5 new checking accounts straightforward and easy to understand. Visit 53.com/checking to find one that's right for you. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank. $50 minimum deposit required to open all accounts. Fifth Third Bank, member FDIC. Before designing our new line of checking accounts at Fifth Third Bank, we talked to thousands of people to better understand their needs. We talked to farmers, 80s movie soundtrack composers, professional duck callers, tennis players who grunt. We even talked to ocelot trainers. Listening helped us create 5 new checking solutions. Visit 53.com/checking to find the right one for you. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank. $50 minimum deposit required to open all accounts. Fifth Third Bank, member FDIC.
Miramar Outlets is the place where you can shop, dine, and play. With over 140 top designer brand name outlets such as Neiman Marcus Last Call, Coach Factory, J. Crew Factory, Bloomingdale's The Outlet Store, Nike Factory Store, off 5th, Saks Fifth Avenue, the newly opened Le Macaron French Pastries, and many more. The kids can enjoy the indoor playland voted the best children's play area by parent and child. And you can end the day by dining in one of Miramar Outlets' many restaurants.
You'll save even more at Miramar Outlets during our Veterans Day sidewalk sale happening now through Monday. You'll find additional savings on everything from designer brand apparel to beauty and accessories, children's apparel, housewares, home furnishings, handbags, luggage, and so much more.
Join Miramar Outlets today from 5 to 7 p.m. in the courtyard between Bloomingdale's The Outlet Store and Neiman Marcus Last Call for our holiday fashion show presented by Miramar Outlets and Envy Models and Talent. View the latest holiday fashions for men, women, and children.
Great names, great savings, and great holiday fashions at Miramar Outlets, located at exit 123 off I-75 in Estero between Naples and Fort Myers.
Talking our hometown, our state, and the state of our country. Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. Phone numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. You can check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. And as promised, like Smitty and I were talking about, next Saturday we've got the live remote at the Redneck Yacht Club. I've got 4 free tickets, weekend passes. It's a $200 value for the 16th through the 18th at the Redneck Yacht Club. The third caller, starting right now, will win those 4 free passes. So call in at 277-9600 or 775-9600. Tripod Bill will be taking your calls.
Isn't that the big weekend with the truck thing?
This is Trucks Gone Wild, man. There's going to be like 40,000 people out there.
Right.
So it'll be a good time. They're going to have live bands, music, all kinds of events going on. So it'll be good times. Before we went to break, or actually during break, I was telling Sick Rick, I've got a little audio clip I want to play. it kind of segues right in from what we were talking about. Smitty definitely told us, hey, Byron and I, we both lost. It's true. The Republicans lost the presidential election. But here's a little clip from Sean Hannity's show the other night. It's audio cut number 2, Sick Rick. Let's go ahead and play this, bud.
I'm going to say this. Americans, you get the government you deserve. And it pains me to say this, but America now deserves Barack Obama. You deserve what you voted for. I know half the country didn't vote that way, but America deserves the government that they want and they deserve. 4 years ago, the public could be excused for voting for Obama because, frankly, it was a blank canvas. Nobody wanted to listen to me, and they could draw whatever pictures they wanted. Now he is a known entity, and just barely over 50% looked at his pathetic record and decided they wanted more of the same. I'm not sure exactly why they arrived at that judgment. I think it's a bad judgment, but we are a self-governing country, and the voice and the will of we the people have now been heard. America wanted Barack Obama 4 more years. Now you've got him. Good luck with that. It's going to be interesting because I predict the very people that will suffer the most are going to be many of the people that voted for him.
Well, that's just a typical woe is me, we lost, you guys deserve it. Ooh. He's no different than Karl Rove, Dick Morris, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity. That's just no different. It's the same garbage, just regurgitated, the same garbage. They have no validity. Dick Morris was a joke.
And,
Karl Rove was a joke.
Smitty, I told you that as far as I was concerned, Dick Morris lost all credibility when it comes to polls.
And if you want to listen to that garbage, you can go through the post office or the CBS and grab the Globe or the Inquirer and read it. That's about as much credibility as they got.
I don't know what you think, Brian, but I was looking at Dick Morris, and I actually was thinking that he might have been right on here, and he's like, oh, Romney's going to win in a landslide.
Yeah.
Man, it was far from a landslide.
Here's where he was wrong. He was wrong in a turnout. The turnout is what
what's
what
wrong is wrong.
I was surprised.
Or not.
The turnout models is what's wrong. And if you look at these returns, the black vote was up. I think it was about 700,000. The Latino vote was up on 1.7 million. The quote unquote white vote was down 8.7 million. This was a turnout election. I want to be clear on this because hear me out on this.
It was.
This was a turnout election, but this was not a mandate election for the president. There was no mandate given in this election.
I think different.
Well, because here's what you got to understand. Yes, the Electoral College was 100 plus for the President of the United States. There's no doubt in that. Mm-hmm. But the vote differential state by state was never larger than 5 in the battlegrounds. That's not a mandate.
If that'll make you feel better.
Guys, before we get into this battle, I've got the winner of the Redneck Yacht Club on line 2.
All right.
Line 2, we got Brian. You are the winner of the Redneck Yacht Club passes. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good, man. Well, that's 4 free passes. You're going to save yourself $200 to take you, your girlfriend, your friends, whatever you want out there, man. You got 4 passes.
Excellent.
All right. Have you been out there before?
I have not.
Oh, this will be a good experience for you. I've been out there many times. It's a great time. Bring your four-wheelers or your Jeep or your truck or ride in somebody else's truck so they can break their stuff.
Bring some tomatoes. You can throw them at JD.
Yeah, come see us while you're out there. We'll be at the K-Rock tent. I'm going to put you back on hold. Tripod Billy's going to get all your information. Congratulations,
Thanks
buddy.
Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Good deal. Thank you, guys.
All right, man.
My man.
All right, so that was Brian. He won. I've also got another caller on the line. We've got this is Tim from Fort Myers on line 1, wants to talk to Smitty.
Go ahead.
Tim, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty and Byron today.
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah.
Obama made history.
He did make history.
The third president for consecutive terms. Congratulations.
Nice.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it was a tough battle. I didn't think it was going to be this much of a blowout, and of course Byron seems to think it was a lot closer, and he's trying to make himself feel good. But while you're on the line, let me just read some things why they're going to say Obama won, okay? First, it was the weather that came in that got everybody going.
The Latino vote.
Right. Then it was the 47% comment course that was made by Sneaky Pete Mitt Romney over there trying to run his mouth. Right. Then it was the flip-flopping stuff that he constantly could never pin him down. He would have been better muscling up and saying, this is my position. I'm going in, hell or high water, live or die by the sword. This is what I'm for. But he didn't, so he got that. Then you got Chris Christie jumping ship and hugging, kissing him. They say that was the problem. Then they said it was Aikens Murdoch, the women's record. Then that was the problem. Then it was voter suppression. No, that was the problem. No, there was the real policies. No, that was the problem. Then it was the increase on taxes against the rich. No, that was the problem. No, it was the demographics and changes. No, that was the problem. They're living in the old policies. They're trying to fix something that's new issues with old medicine, bro. And that's why they're sitting there crying in their beer. And he'll tell you, JD saw them. They were all crying like babies over there.
Yeah, they were.
And they deserve what they got.
Yeah, they were.
Thank you for calling in, my friend.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you for your support.
Well,
Vindication.
Vindication.
I guess he has a bullet point list over there. Look at him.
He actually did some research. Must not have been even from Wikipedia.
It was too
this
easy. It was too easy.
Let's go into your laundry list of reasons why we lost the selection.
Let's start with demographics.
Let me go back to you, because demographics aren't even the answer in selection. That's what the talking heads are saying. But let's have one thing be clear: the talking heads usually are wrong because they're moving in lockstep all the time. Mm-hmm. This election was won by organization on the ground by the president's campaign team.
They were good.
And here's
They've been campaigning for 4 years.
They've been campaigning
6 years.
If you remember when what's his face, Robert Gibbs left the administration to go back to Chicago, he sent him back to Chicago with Axelrod and the boys because they wanted to take 2 years to prepare for the president's run, because the president was in serious trouble and they knew he was in serious trouble
because his record was terrible.
And now let's go forward, because you laid out a laundry list. We played Sean Hannity's clip. Here's what I learned from the election. Let's put all the other stuff aside. Number one, you got to define yourself before your opponent defines you.
Romney should have done that.
The biggest problem the Romney campaign had, and maybe it's because he didn't have enough money or the super PACs should have done it, is that they labeled Romney as the evil corporate greedy raider with Cayman Island accounts and a house with an elevator in it. The truth of the matter is, who cares? Because none of us know what anybody's other finances are. But when you run for president, everybody wants to do an examination of your.
They want an even playing field. That's what you miss.
Smitty.
You're living in a bubble.
Smitty, you're wrong. Because here's the truth of the matter: the even playing field is created by free market economics. It is not created by top-down authoritarianism. Because when you do that, when you have a even playing field created by that, nobody gets ahead in life.
Well, we can talk about the difference in philosophies, but the people saw it different, okay? And you can be very philosophical and very intellectual about getting philosophical and about policies, but the bottom line is the people saw that.
Oh, I agree with you 100% on that.
And they said, you know what? It ain't going to happen. We've been getting tore up for years, the middle class.
Smitty,
we always paid.
Before I get into the next caller, we've got a caller on. But before I get to the next caller, how many clips did I play that showed you how educated the Obama voters were? Well, not even just educated in general, but I mean educated on the issues, or even about Obama or his own team. They didn't even know who the first president was, much less who the president was now.
The clips you played were like the Inquirer and the Globe. You were just picking out stuff for entertainment
purposes. Those are random people at Obama rallies.
I'm sure just random. It is random.
Well, let's take this call. We've got Cindy from Sarasota on line 3. Cindy, you're on the Ledge Radio Show.
Go ahead, sweetie.
Cindy, are you there? Okay.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know that obviously money doesn't buy all the happiness in the world. Congratulations, Smitty. You did a great job.
That's my girl, Cindy. Winner, chicken dinner.
You didn't run into one of those Romney rednecks out there that changed you over before you got to the polls.
I know it, man. They were hammering me.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
You know what's funny about that is, thanks, Cindy, a Romney redneck. So you're talking about a guy from Boston, Massachusetts. He didn't look anything like a redneck.
Sure didn't to me.
No.
It's a very comical phrase and expression.
It is a comical phrase.
Because suck it up like a big sponge.
Because it's the complete opposite of what it actually is.
Like a big sponge. Just enjoy it.
Well, here's something. This is from Ron Paul. And I know there's a lot of Ron Paul supporters out there. They're a tight-knit group.
They are.
He was.
I told you I like his foreign policy.
He was very upset. Oh no, you didn't like his foreign.
No, domestic. I like his domestic.
You sure?
Yeah, his domestic was. I like what he was talking about domestically. Foreign, I didn't.
This is what Ron Paul said after the election. He said, "We're so far gone. We're over the cliff. We cannot get through people in Congress in the next. We can't get enough people in Congress in the next 5 to 10 years who will do wise things. The people in the Midwest voted against him. We have to. This is what they said. They had to be taken care of. So that vote was sort of like what we're laughing at in Greece. You know, that we're seeing the stuff in Greece that we're headed towards.
No, we're not.
We're operating the same way.
No, we're not.
He says people don't want anything to cut. They want all the bailouts to come. They want the Fed to keep printing money. They don't believe that we've gone off the cliff or are close to going off the cliff. They think we can patch it over. We can somehow come up with some magic solution. But you can't have a budgetary solution if you don't change what the role of government should be. As long as you think we have to police the world and run this welfare state, all we're going to argue about is who will get the loot. That's Ron Paul right there. What do you think, Byron?
Ron Paul's right.
Yeah,
well,
Ron Paul is right on this.
Well, Ron Paul is a very smart guy, and he had has his points. I think he's a very, very smart guy, but I don't think we're going in the way of Greece at all. So.
I see. I disagree. I'm a cycle back because I want to finish. There's two things. Okay. One, you got to define yourself before your opponent defines you. Number two, and this is very important. If you're going to run a campaign on issues, which is what the Romney campaign attempted to do, you have to be overly specific. You have to be incredibly detailed, so much so that you overwhelm the electorate with your details, so much so you overwhelm your opposition with the details, so they don't know what to pick on and what to pick out. And now listen, I'm going to be perfectly clear with you. Sure. The president didn't run on any ideas. The president did not run. He did not run a campaign on detailed solutions to the problems we have. Here's what his election was. His election was on a couple of things. I just want everybody to pay their fair share. I believe in equal pay for equal work, which, by the way, was solved 40 years ago by federal law.
Lilly
Ledbetter is not equal pay for equal work,
not even close.
Lilly Ledbetter Act just allows you to go back 20 years. Equal pay for equal work was solved 40 years ago by federal law. But hold on, there's more.
The women disagree with that.
Because Smitty, again, we fought a campaign like a school board race, not as a campaign of ideas. And in all honesty, that is the responsibility of the Romney campaign.
That's true.
To be overly detailed about these issues and not be superficial with them.
Do you agree that he just never really took a stand and said, this is where I am, this is who I am? That's what I think really hurt, because
I do.
Too many people didn't really know what or who he was, because he did. I know it's cliche, flip-flop mitt, but he did, and he did so much on almost everything, even to the bitter end when he played that Jeep commercial, and the CEO of GM and all came out and said, don't tell these people we're moving this factory Jeep out to China. We're not. We're expanding. But this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. These are the people that'll hear this and they go, what are you doing, Mitt? What are you doing?
The Jeep commercial is water under the bridge.
I know, but I'm just saying to the bitter end, he was still flip-flopping, trying to turn the corner and not really being honest with people and saying, this is what I am, I'm in it.
What's amazing to me is that the people, they could see the direction Obama was going, and yet they chose to go that route. Knowing he was leading us towards a socialized country, yet that's what they want.
Now, see, I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
Because I purposefully, after the election, about 18 hours, I didn't turn on the news. I just kind of watched my Facebook and my Twitter. I detoxed.
I'm with you,
because I wanted a clear head. I didn't want to hear the talking heads.
You should have walked into the office the next day when he was in the office.
I was pretty down.
Real quick, I walked into the office. I'll let you continue. I walk into the office, and he's behind his desk. And I walk in. Usually he'll say to me, we don't want to talk about politics, Smitty, today, because we banter. Now, he gets crazy. So I was like, I walk in, I go, look, man, we don't want to talk about politics today. But did you see the election last night?
And you know what I said? The first thing I said,
I've got a gun out in the car.
I said, I didn't bring my pistol today. I got my shotgun. I sold with 8 shells, so shut up and go sit down.
That's right.
Literally. I was not happy.
He was so mad.
No, seriously, though. Even in the callers that have called in, everybody's saying, congratulations, he won. Congratulations for what? What exactly is the president's plan? Where are we going? I had a conversation yesterday with a friend of mine from college. And she says to me, well, the president won and Romney lost, and the Republicans just need to get over it and work together.
Yeah.
And my argument was, how can we work together with the president if his plans are wrong for the future of the nation? Hold on. In your company, in this company, would you work together on a program that would be to the detriment of your company? The answer is no.
I sure hope not.
So how do you expect politicians to work together on a program that is going to be detrimental to the future of this nation? And so when I started breaking down policy with her, policy by policy, I asked people in their posts, I said, does anybody know what the president's immigration policy is? Does anybody know what his tax policy is? Does anybody know what his foreign policy is? Does anybody know what his solutions are for Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid? Nobody answered. She came back 6 hours later and said, well, I think we have too many people on Medicare right now. The program as it exists right now is not how it was intended. We don't have enough workers. I told her, I said, you sound like a conservative.
Yep, that's
You're
right.
breaking down the argument on Medicare like I would break it down. Here's where the Republican Party needs to go, because let me
Hey, Byron,
hang on a second.
Yeah, before we do that, I got to pay some bills.
Sure.
First, I want to switch gears real quick.
Sure.
You know, Smitty, we always talk about it, and we've got a great title sponsor in Duncan's Diamonds.
Fantastic.
But, you know, Duncan's Diamonds, that's where we go to purchase all of our jewelry and diamond needs. You know, their prices are easily 25 to 50% below other diamond or jewelry stores in the area. You can't even find a jewelry store like Duncan's Diamonds. The people are great.
Right.
You've seen them. They're nice people. They'll
talk
help you out.
They'll educate you.
If you don't know about
right.
a product, they'll teach it to you. I mean, you know, even
don't be afraid to go in. Just
Absolutely.
go in if you want to look for something for the holidays, and you think, hey, you know, I'm thinking about doing something nice for my girlfriend or boyfriend.
It's coming up, man. Christmas is coming up. You know, it's time to buy.
Go on in there.
They'll buy your old gold if you need money for some new piece. You know, take your old gold in there. Maybe
pull your tooth out. I don't care.
Pull your gold tooth out. Gold's up right now, so it's a good time to do it. But you know, the next time you're looking for quality diamond or amazing jewelry, go to Duncan's Diamonds. Tell them the JD from the Ledge Radio sent you. You won't be disappointed. 277-9600. We'll be right back.
96 K-Rock supports Southwest Florida's bikers with the Biker Map.
Hey, this is Chris from the Biker Map. The Biker Map is in over 500 locations, and if you can't find it, just go to thebikermap.com. The Biker Map.
Grab a copy by stopping by K-Rock Broadcasts, and always the K-Rock Studios in Estero.
I just want to say thank you to Southwest Florida and all the advertisers for supporting all the motorcycle riders out there. The Biker Map. And be sure to be on the lookout for the all-new The Boater Map from 96 K-Rock and 96krock.com.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm security and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
Southwest Florida knows that Duncan's Diamonds has the best prices, but it's their quality, selection, and excellent customer service that keeps customers coming back year after year. And Duncan's Diamonds customers have great things to say.
Their sales team is extremely helpful and knowledgeable.
I've shopped at other jewelry stores, but there's no place like Duncan's Diamonds. And I tell all my friends to come here every chance I get.
At Duncan's Diamonds, I found everything I was looking for. Great designers. I was awfully impressed with their Hearts on Fire diamonds and jewelry. You know, they're really amazing.
The customer service is excellent. You know, you're free to take your time and browse without being hassled, and all your questions are answered.
I've been to every chain jewelry store, department store, and independently owned stores. None of them beat Duncan's Diamonds prices. They are the best.
I had some jewelry to sell, and by far, Duncan's Diamonds paid me the most cash and paid on the spot.
Duncan's Diamonds puts your mind at ease. Best quality at the best price.
Discover Duncan's Diamonds, Fort Myers on US 41, and in the Gulf Coast Town Center, where you'll find the largest selection at the best prices in Southwest Florida.
Foreclosures are at an all-time high, and here in Southwest Florida, we're at the center of the storm. I'm Mike Chinopoulos of Absolute Law in Fort Myers. If you find yourself facing the possibility of foreclosure, it's important to have an attorney on your side, someone who understands your legal options. Call Absolute Law at 239-349-8010. As an experienced attorney and former judge, I've helped people like you navigate their way through the often confusing foreclosure process. When the mortgage bills are piling up, it may seem like there's nowhere to turn, but help is available. At Absolute Law, we understand what you're going through, and we'll aggressively fight for your rights. So let me be your advocate. Call today for a free legal consultation, 239-349-8010. Remember, if you have questions concerning foreclosure, I can help. Call me, Mike Chinopoulos of Absolute Law, at 239-349-8010. That's 349-8010, or find us online at absolutelaw.net. Absolute Law, A law firm you can trust. Absolutely.
Shoot in the Shoot Straight Gun Range for their big sale, November 9th through the 11th. Get amazing deals on guns, ammo, accessories, and more. Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, Beretta, Ruger, Kimber, and more. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, $380 for just $369. Smith & Wesson MP15 Sport, $649. 35% off American Security gun safes, ammo discounts, and get $25 off annual memberships. Shoot Straight Gun Range on the corner of Colonial and Fowler and Fort Myers.
ZOOMTAN. I was tan last summer, now I'm pale again. I need a little bit of help to be ready for the beach soon. Tan puts some within my reach. Brown as a biscuit for $9.99. ZoomTan.com for a limited time. ZoomTan, $9.99.
Zoomtan has 25 locations throughout Florida. Go to Zoomtan.com for a location near you and for a free spray tan coupon. That's Zoomtan.com. Why be pale and pasty when you can be tan and tasty?
You should be buying from O'Brien. With the best price guarantee, America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and Hyundai Assurance. You should be buying from O'Brien. It only makes sense to buy from O'Brien Hyundai of Fort Myers. We've got it all for less. Right now, during our No November event, you should be buying a brand new Hyundai because we say no all month long. No down payment, no interest, and no payments for 90 days. 2013 Accents, Elantras, Sonatas, Elantra Coupes, Genesis sedans and coupes, Tucsons, Veracruz, and the brand new Santa Fe. Do you need a better reason to buy from O'Brien? O'Brien Hyundai of Fort Myers, just 2 miles west of I-75 on Colonial Boulevard, or click O'BrienTeamHyundai.com. You should be buying from O'Brien, should be buying. You should be buying from O'Brien, should be buying. Today and every day, the best choice for value. With approved credit, interest accrues in lieu of payment. See dealer for details.
Let's get back to work, please.
So, go ahead.
Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk and rock.
Welcome back. The phone numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. You can check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. If you'd like to advertise during this show for our new primetime slot every Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon, visit our website, contact us for details. I want to go ahead, Smitty, and give away another 4 passes for the Redneck Yacht Club.
Get it.
We did it earlier. We've got 4 more passes valued at $200 for the November 16th through 18th Trucks Gone Wild event out at Redneck Yacht Club in Punta Gorda. The third caller wins. Call and talk to Tripod Billy. He'll get you on the air, and we'll get you hooked up with 4 free passes. And I will be there for a live remote next Saturday, the 17th, from 10 to noon.
No secret password?
No secret password. Just third caller gets it. Tripod Billy will hook you up. All right, guys.
I want to ask him one question real quick.
Please do. Oh, 277-9600, 775-9600.
Yeah, give us a call. I just got a question. I kind of know where you're going to answer, but I still want to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of all the mistakes that he made, Romney, and then I agree that, he probably was a good guy. He probably was a good-hearted guy. And from what I've been hearing, that he was shell-shocked, they said. He said he literally was shell-shocked.
I'm sure he was,
He
man.
said he didn't even write a concession speech. It was all victory speech. And can you imagine just getting blown out of the water and just be shell-shocked? I think, and I know you probably won't agree, but I think, I know you won't, I think he should have been more of a moderate. And let me finish my thought here. When he went in there, he pandered to a lot of the Tea Party, hard right, drew the line and stayed there, and stayed there, and stayed there until he started to lose about 2-3 months near the end of the election. Then he started kind of floating a little bit to the center. And then he was talking about, well, I'm sort of for some regulations, not all. And he started to flip to the center a little bit. And then he started gaining votes. All of a sudden, he's rising in the polls. Next thing you know, people are going, okay, well, as long as he's not going to take us to that fanatic right side, I can live with him. I can live with him better than I can live with Obama.
I think he started rising in the polls after the first debate when Romney showed the American people he wasn't this monster that Obama had been telling him he was.
It was too little.
But it had nothing to do with him not being moderate enough.
I
think he wasn't conservative enough. What do you think, Byron? Let's get Byron's take.
I'll tell you what. If he wants to stay more conservative, hard right again, Tea Party, try it again next election. See how that works for you.
Here's what I think. Let me make sure I got this right before I say what I'm about to say. I think that Mitt Romney's problem is that conservatism doesn't just come off him. You know, I will say this about Barack Obama, the President of the United States. He believes in what he is saying.
You know what you get.
You know what you're getting with Barack Obama.
Absolutely. There's no
Whether
deviation.
you love it or not.
That's it.
You know exactly what you're going to get.
It's a Buick, and here it is.
If you've been paying attention.
If you've been paying attention, of course. Here's the thing. Barack Obama, in his acceptance speech, said that he wanted to have both leaders of both parties to come to the White House and let's talk this whole thing out and this whole sessions and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did that in 2009. And then said, you know what? I won. And this is what I'm going to do as president of the United States.
You guys can sit in the back of the bus.
You can sit in the back. I believe that if Mitt Romney had come out and been, you know, who he is as a person, yeah, he probably would have lost the Republican
His concession
primary.
speech was very elegant. Very, very.
Because he's a
Mitt
decent
Romney
guy.
is class personified. Let's be perfectly clear.
He's presidential.
He was very nice. But if he had come across like that in the election, he'd have probably have landslided.
Mitt Romney, for all the people who say he's as greedy, listen, Mitt Romney is class personified. By all accounts, he is a genuine human being, a quality person.
I think he was seriously humbled, though. I think
of course he was.
He was like, "Wow."
Hey guys, let's reconvene after this call. I've got the winner of the tickets, Larry from Cape Coral. You are the winner of the 4 free passes. How you doing, buddy?
All right, how you doing?
Good, man. You ever been up there?
No, I haven't.
Well, shoot, man, you got 4 free passes. Those are $50 tickets. It's a $200 value. Take yourself, your family, your friends, whatever you want to do up there, man.
All 3 girls, whatever.
Next weekend, you can. I think you can go up on Friday, and you don't have to come home till Sunday.
Sweet.
Oh, right on. That's real nice.
Good times. All right, we'll just stay on hold. Tripod Bill's going to get your info. All right, buddy.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, thanks for listening.
So much.
Now, let's get back to what you're saying. If he was more moderate, here's the problem. We never had a detailed discussion of conservative policy and what that means to the lives of every person in this nation. Like I said, when I'm talking Medicare policy or tax policy with friends of mine who are liberals or even Democrats or they don't know what they are, most of what they say agrees with what I say. So we're already on the proper path in terms of policy. Then that's where the compromise comes in. But in this campaign, we never led with those policies. We never said, look, in Medicare, which is important, here's what we got to do. The third question from Candy Crowley in the second debate was Lilly Ledbetter.
Yeah.
Lilly Ledbetter is already settled law. Why are we talking about that in a presidential debate? It does not matter to the future of the country.
I heard that Obama had voted against something with that bill like 4 times.
Oh, in the state senate.
In the state senate.
In the state senate in Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah, he voted against those things in the state senate of Illinois because it wasn't convenient for Barack Obama. And I think
political expedient.
Yeah, it was exactly. And I think here's what we got to do. Republicans now, because you made a good point. What should we be moderate? Should we be conservative? What should we do? First part is there's no such thing as extreme right wing Tea Party, blah blah blah. That doesn't exist because when you actually explain the principles, I'm as conservative as they come.
Well,
and when I explain policy,
everybody
hold on
no,
now.
only the left-wing media refused to. No, only the left-wing media says it.
I'm a very conservative person. I make no bones about it. When I start explaining policy to my liberal friends, you know what they start saying? Yeah, I kind of agree with some of that, but I just don't like this piece. That piece we can work on together.
Yeah.
That's where the compromise comes from. Here's the problem for the Republicans. We don't articulate conservative principles. We don't have enough Republican leaders, especially in this election cycle, who can go toe-to-toe with the president or anybody else, not Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, Harry Reid, whoever the case might be, on tax policy, on Medicare policy, on immigration policy, on welfare reform, true welfare reform, food stamp reform, on all these matters that actually matter to the nation. Case in point, Connie Mack.
Here we go.
Connie Mack went down by 12 points.
Yep.
Why did Connie Mack go down by 12 points?
He probably didn't
He
show
was
up to vote.
disliked.
Connie Mack
probably didn't show up to vote.
Connie Mack went down by 12 points because he didn't campaign. He didn't campaign in the Republican primary.
No, and I actually contacted him because I went to Trey Radel, I went to Connie, went to their speeches and all, and I gave him a card to say, hey, call us. We'd like to get you on the show. I didn't give a response.
If we're going to be effective as conservatives in this country, we have to begin to build relationships across this nation. Not in the suburbs, to be perfectly honest with you. In Miami, Florida.
Absolutely.
In Tampa, Florida.
Absolutely.
In Orlando, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and the like.
Well, I want to play a real quick clip before we go off for another break. But I want to play this little clip that you might enjoy. This is not.
I'm sure I won't.
This isn't so serious. So I think you guys are.
Can you set it up and tell us what it is?
It's Key and Peele. Have you ever heard of those guys? Okay, they're comedy on TV. So take a listen to this.
I hope you pre-screened it, unlike last time.
Let's listen.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. I just want to thank you for your continued faith in my ability. We won! That's my anger translator, Luther.
Whoa! Yeah! What's up?
I want to wish my opponent, Mitt Romney, well. He ran a good campaign.
Take that back to the lab, Mitt, because you lost.
Now, we move forward with pressing issues.
We're going to pass health care again. Now what, bitches?
While we had huge turnout from our faithful supporters.
Thank you, black folks. We made it to 2 elections in a row, man. How hard was that?
All your votes were crucial in this victory.
White people who voted for me, you are all now honorary black people.
Thank you for your support.
And you if you tried to me. I mean, you know how much money they tried to spend to get rid of this? Millions, son. I said millions. But you couldn't get rid of it. Oh, no. Yeah, can't touch this.
Luther, what I tell you, no hammer dance.
That's great.
Oh, me. We won. Let's do it, dog.
No, I told you, I don't want you doing it wrong. You gotta get it right. If you're gonna do it, God bless America.
Say it, though, say it.
Now, I told you, homeboy, you can't touch this.
That's pretty good, Smitty. You know, I actually agree with Smitty one time. That was pretty funny.
Key and Peele, they're hilarious.
I gotta look them up, man. That's pretty good. I'm sure we'll get copyrighted for that one too. We usually do every clip we get from Smitty. We'll get copyright infringement. So what do you say about that, Byron? What do you think, man?
We got to build relationships, not pandering. Pandering is not going to be the answer. That's going to be a disaster for this party because, like I said, 3 million voters that are Republicans who voted for John McCain did not show up in this election.
You know what's really surprising? With the long lines we saw here in Southwest Florida, especially, and apparently all over Florida, God, we would have thought that everybody and their brother came out to vote, but apparently it was just the supervisor election screwed it all up, and we didn't have enough scanners and everything else.
Well, listen, even with that situation, turnout was up in Florida.
Okay.
But not as much as it needed to be, because turnout was up also for the president in Florida. Where it really hurt was in Ohio, in Wisconsin, and Michigan. In the Rust Belt is
Must have been
really
Virginia
hurt.
too.
Virginia as well. The turnout was not as high as it needed to be, and I'll be frank with you, Smitty. Conservatism wins. There's been one true landslide in American politics
the last 35 years. Did you see the touchdown catch? He had it in his hand. 2 feet are in. It's a touchdown. That wins. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Go ahead, Byron.
What does that mean for tax policy
you can talk about conservatives. Have the conservatives win. They didn't win.
We won.
Lost.
No, we didn't.
It's a mandate now.
Listen,
the president's got
not
the
a
hammer.
mandate.
The president has the leverage right now.
It's not a mandate.
A mandate is a flip in the House of Representatives.
It was not a mandate.
You're going to tell me Obama doesn't have leverage right now?
He's got the same leverage he had last time.
Yes, he does.
But listen, again, what does leverage matter if you're going to implement tax policy that doesn't close a deficit, doesn't grow the economy? It's
going to be fun. He'll work with the Republicans if they want to work with him. But they've been digging their heels in, going, no, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it keeps going back and forth. Let me say this. When you win the election and you're the president, you're the one that makes the decisions. And those people, the GOP, has to come to him and say, okay, we'll work with you. And as long as you have a conservative attitude that you're not going to work with the president, you're going to have the same thing that you had for the last couple of years.
Smitty thinks there's 3 branches of government: the Congress, the Senate, and the president.
Smitty knows who won the election.
See, here's the fundamental.
You can check that on Wikipedia.
Again, here's the problem.
We got a minute left before our hard break, so I want to continue on. But when we get back after the top of the hour, I want to talk about the impact that this election is going to have on jobs. We're going to talk a little bit about Libya. So if you can close up for this final minute, Byron, be my guest, buddy.
Listen, what you got to understand, Smitty, is the president, just because he won doesn't mean he gets his say. This is a constitutional republic. The Republicans still have control of the House. So they're going to have to work together where they can work together.
Yes, they will.
If the president's plan is to implement policy to make everybody feel good, but it is not effective for the future of the nation, then that policy should not pass. And if you won't take my word for it, let's look at immigration reform in 1965. There are people who said in 1965 that chain migration, immigration policy, was one of the worst disasters on this country. Still is today. But we passed it because everybody felt good about it. Feel-good policy is not good policy.
All right, and with that, we're going to go to our break. When we get back, we're going to have more on this, more on the election, more on Libya. 239-277-9600, Ledge Radio Show. Be right back.
Weekends. Picture me. Tiny bikini, straps undone, ice cold beer in hand, and blaring the best damn classic rock, period. Every weekend on 96 K-Rock, we shut up and rock. Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, ZZ Top, Leonard Skinner, Aerosmith, GNR, Bon Jovi. If it makes my ass shake and makes my beer taste better, we play it. All attitude, all the time. 96 K-Rock weekends rock.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm, security, and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at ImperialFireSecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at ImperialFireSecurity.com.
License number EF2000046. Southwest Florida knows that Duncan's Diamonds has the best prices, but it's their quality, selection, and excellent customer service that keeps customers coming back year after year. And Duncan's Diamonds customers have great things to say.
Their sales team is extremely helpful and knowledgeable.
I've shopped at other jewelry stores, but there's no place like Duncan's Diamonds. And I tell all my friends to come here every chance I get.
At Duncan's Diamonds, I found everything I was looking for. Great designers. I was awfully impressed with their Hearts on Fire diamonds and jewelry. You know, they're really amazing.
The customer service is excellent. You know, you're free to take your time and browse without being hassled, and all your questions are answered.
I've been to every chain jewelry store, department store, and independently owned stores. None of them beat Duncan's Diamonds prices. They are the best.
I had some jewelry to sell, and by far, Duncan's Diamonds paid me the most cash and paid on the spot.
Duncan's Diamonds puts your mind at ease. Best quality at the best price.
Discover Duncan's Diamonds, Fort Myers on US 41, and in the Gulf Coast Town Center, where you'll find the largest selection at the best prices in Southwest Florida.
Our dad, Roger Staubach, taught us that hard work and discipline are more important than fame or fortune. That the national anthem is more than the song played before a football game. Dad ought to know, he wasn't just an NFL quarterback, he served in Vietnam.
At USAA, parents who served in the military are able to pass something on to their kids that others can't. Access to USAA insurance. It's auto, home, and life insurance designed exclusively for current and former military members who have honorably served and their families. In fact, the type of protection and level of service we offer is so great, 95% of USAA members plan to stay with us for life. Begin your legacy. Get a quote. Visit USAA.com/insure or call 800-227-USAA. Official military appreciation sponsor of the NFL.
Insurance provided by United Services Automobile Association and its PNC and life insurance affiliates, San Antonio, Texas. Membership eligibility restrictions apply.
The nicest used cars anywhere in the country are right here in Naples. And they're all on NaplesUsedCars.com. Hundreds of extra clean, low-mileage used cars at a fraction of their original prices. All makes, all models. This weekend only, over 500 quality pre-owned vehicles are on sale. Imports like Toyota, Nissan, and Mitsubishi. All on sale starting under $4,000. Domestics like Ford and Chevy. All on sale starting under $5,000. Even our luxury vehicles are on sale this weekend only. Mercedes, BMW, and Lexus all on sale, all starting under $12,000. And don't forget, not only do we have low-mileage garage-kept cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, we also have select motorcycles on sale, too. Browse at your own pace, 24 hours a day. Get your trade value, your interest rate, your down payment, your monthly payment. Even fill out your credit app online. Plus, we'll buy your car, even if you don't buy one of ours. Visit NaplesUsedCars.com. That's NaplesUsedCars.com.
Plus tax, tag, and title fees, sponsored by Germain.
Rock Solid wants you to be our customer. Rock Solid Countertops and More is your supermarket for countertops, flooring, and cabinets. And right now, for a limited time, our suppliers are offering us outrageous deals, and we want to pass the savings on to you. So come find huge granite savings on a huge selection of countertops, with one-stop shopping on granite, marble, and quartz, plus flooring and cabinet fabrication. Complete granite kitchens from $9.99 installed. All Rock Solid products offer affordable quality for life. Rock Solid will not be undersold. Bring us your best offer and we will beat it. Hurry in now. We want you to save, because Rock Solid knows you work hard for the money. off Airport Pulling on JNC Boulevard in Naples. When coming to see us, look for the Superman Sign Guy. Call 596-7676, 596-7676, or visit HugeCreditSale.com. Rock solid countertops and more. It's really big.
From the huge studios, WRXK, Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, a Beasley Broadcast Group station, 96K-Rock, and 96KRock.com. Talk that rocks.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge! This country should have hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Duncan's Diamonds, your direct diamond importer. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty.
Welcome to Hour 2. Phone lines are open, 277-9600, or for the viewers around the world watching live streaming HD video on the Ledge Cam, 239-775-9600. You can visit our website and blog at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also give us a like at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Guys, over the break, we got somebody on the line already. We got Tony from Fort Myers, line 1. Tony, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
What's up, Tony?
How you doing?
Good, buddy.
Great show, you guys.
Thanks, man. What's up, buddy?
I have a couple points I'd like to make about Obama.
Okay.
This administration has been exposed at so many levels that people forgot what happened in the beginning to define this president's ideology. I'm sure everyone there knows who Van Jones is.
Yes.
But I guarantee you 90% of the people who voted for him don't know who Van Jones is. And I've tested that. I've talked to lots of people about this. And when I bring up Van Jones, they go, who's Van Jones? Well, he was the original president's green job czar, and he is on tape explaining his philosophy of how this country needs to be more like Hugo Chavez and Venezuela. And he is an admitted Marxist, communist, socialist, and the president had to let him go after he was exposed.
I remember that, Tony.
Yeah, after he was exposed, he had to let him go on a Sunday night, and there was no fanfare. And another thing is, he has never answered for that because the press has never asked him about it. He got a pass on it. So how could anyone possibly doubt where this president is going and wants to take this country?
Hey, Tony, the press has been complicit in covering for Obama. They've been complicit in pushing his agendas while shading and covering for all of the negatives that most of the country would not want to hear about.
Exactly. And how could these guys around Obama? They're like a mob hit squad. These guys. If you owned a company, would you let any of them in your company and work there? I don't think so.
No, not at all.
I mean, they're the sleaziest, most deceitful people I've ever seen in my life.
Well, who did you vote for?
Politics to a new low.
Who did you vote for, Tony?
I voted for. Who do you think?
I'm stunned, Tony.
Hey, Tony, thanks for the call, bud. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for your call.
Okay.
Well, I think what he said has a lot of merit. I mean, there's definitely, when you look at, the people surrounding Obama. But that's a weird thing is that the American people who voted, I'm guessing maybe 60% of America didn't know these things, didn't care about it, didn't watch the real news.
I don't think he lost the vote for Jones, though. I don't think that's what lost the vote.
It wasn't just Jones. It was almost everybody around him like that.
We were talking at the break, and we were talking about looking at the map, and you would see, like, a lot of it red.
Yeah.
If it was just by acreage, he would have won. But it wasn't. Voters vote. And that's where the votes came from, in the cities, in the urban areas.
I'm surprised that New York pulled it out for him this time. I know that they always vote Democrat, but, man, they've been like 12, 13 days after this storm. They still don't have water. They can't even get a plane to fly into JFK to give them food. It's unreal. Israel sent a plane full of food and landed it, but yet our government can't send food
Obama
in.
got 63% in New York, and Romney
I'm sure
got 36%.
He did. That tells you how intelligent the New York voters are.
Well, I'd like to tell you what Florida was, but we're still counting their votes. So.
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't matter. That's another
whatever happened
issue.
here, man. Our supervisors of elections need to be fired and never hired back.
It is absolutely embarrassing to think that we're the only state. When I look at this map, and they have everybody colored in.
Except Florida.
We're gray.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, really, guys?
I'd rather be gray right now.
Oh my gosh! I mean, you can't even count a freaking vote.
I know.
It's embarrassing when you tell people, "Yeah, where you from, Florida?" They go, "Oh, that's the voting thing," and it's every year. What in the world is with Florida, man?
Let's take a caller real quick before we get into it. We've got. Let's see, line 1 sick Rick. We got Sean, who's on the road. Sean, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
How's it going, JD? How you doing, man?
Good, buddy. What's up, man?
I think one of the things that everybody's kind of forgotten to hit on when everybody's talking about, well, why haven't the conservatives been able to put a president in office the last 2 election cycles is there's quite a bit of indoctrination going on with our young people, and then they come home and they're basically telling their parents, who, I hate to say it, and I hate to sound like I'm trying to alienate someone, but we have a lot of ignorant voters in this country, and they're basing their votes off of what their kids' teachers told them.
Could you imagine if they would be sad, and I'm sure that does happen, because we know there's a lot of indoctrination, especially with the teachers' unions. They've got to keep their populace up, and the only way to do that is to promote the president's policies to keep the coffers of the teachers' unions full.
Well, I had to explain to my 15-year-old niece just 2 weeks ago that food stamps and all these other entitlement programs don't just magically appear. Because she said that her teachers wanted everybody to vote for Obama because Romney wants to take all these entitlement programs away. And I asked her, well, who do you think pays for that? She said, well, the teacher says the government. That's why they don't understand why Romney cares. It's like, well, how do you think the government gets that money?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they just print it.
Yeah, they steal it from us.
Well, that's why I had to explain that to her. I'm like, well, how much more cool stuff do you think you'd have around your house if you got to bring home, your mom brought home an extra $200 or $300 a pay period?
Yeah, that's true.
Out of her check to pay for that stuff, and the kids have no idea.
I know. Well, Sean, we appreciate the call, buddy. Thanks for listening,
Thanks
man.
for calling, Sean. Yep. But he's right. The future for either party is the youth movement.
That's exactly right.
And believe it, man, when Obama, and I saw a speech he gave just yesterday. He went to the headquarters up in Chicago. Very heartfelt speech. He was he was very moved. And he looked at those kids.
Was that the one where he was crying?
Yeah, he cried.
Did they make fun of him like Boehner?
No, he cried.
No, they didn't.
He cried, and he said to those young kids, he said, "You're smarter than I ever was." He says,
I believe that.
He goes, "You're moving in the right direction. I'm proud of you." He goes, "Yeah, I couldn't have done it without you." And he gave them credit because the young folks.
And then he probably gave him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
He probably did. And then he had a party. And by the way, I have a song for you, but we'll sing it later.
Are you gonna? Did you write it?
I did.
Is it something you wrote?
I did.
Oh, this is sweet.
It's G-rated.
It's not the Ramadan song, is it?
No. I'll sing it later.
All right. Well, when we went to break, I was gonna touch on this. So now the election's over. Now we got to deal with the aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
Right away, Byron, and you were telling me about Boeing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Boeing, and I've got a whole list of companies that have now come out immediately after this presidential election, laid off workers right away.
Well, before the election actually took place, there were reports that the DOD went to the defense contractors and said, do not put out the notices of layoffs until after the election. We don't want that, we don't want that mucking up the process. Once the president won re-election, Boeing and a number of other companies came right out and announced their layoffs, saying that because of sequestration, which happened with the Budget Control Act, which is what all of the argument is about this fiscal cliff going on now, which, by the way, how come we weren't talking about the fiscal cliff in the middle of the presidential election? But that's a whole other argument.
That must not be an important subject.
That's one of those subjects that's not important. We just want to make sure Obama cares about us. But at any rate, so now the reports are coming out that the defense contractors led by Boeing, several other companies are announcing layoffs. The founder, CEO of Papa John's has said, hey, look, folks, the price of pizzas is going to go up because now I have to pay for healthcare reform, aka Obamacare, which he now loves. I have to pay for that now, and my operating costs are going to go up, which means the cost of your pizza, middle income America or poor America, is now going to go up as well.
Yep.
And this is the effect of government policy, and this is why the role of government is crucial. If the cost to a business goes up, that cost is not borne by the business owner. It's borne by the employees, and it is borne by the consumers.
Or, the end user.
Everything goes up.
Well, here's the thing.
No. Everything does not go up, Smitty.
What has gone down?
Smitty, obviously.
What has gone down?
No, you're right. It's gone up exponentially since he's been in office.
It's gone up. It's gone up. And listen, I'm not going to put this all on Barack Obama. This has been the natural bent of government over the last 50 years in this country.
I agree.
The cost has gone up on products because of a couple of things. One, work rules, work regulations. Number 2, manufacturing regulations. Number 3, tax policy. Number 4, overspending by government and printing by the Federal Reserve. That has destroyed the purchasing power for poor people in this nation and for middle-income people in this nation. Now, if Mitt Romney had ran on a campaign like that, he'd have beat Barack Obama.
Here's another stat, Byron and Smitty. Darden Restaurants.
What shoulda, coulda.
Darden Restaurants, that owns Olive Garden and Red Lobster and a slew of others, have now announced they're going to cut hours of most of their employees to 28 per week so they can edge out Obamacare. Because if they drop it down to 28, that's the magic number. You're not considered full-time. You do not have to provide health insurance now.
Yeah, that's right.
Amazing. And they probably provided company-sponsored health insurance, but with the increased cost of the premiums that come on from Obamacare, and I'm telling you right now, our health insurance costs for my company went up again this year.
That's right.
I had to lower my coverage, and I still had to pay more for it.
I don't know if they provide health care or not, but I know there's some companies that have been for a long Starbucks. If you work 20 hours, you get full health insurance.
Sure, certain companies volunteer to do that.
I stopped at Waffle House last week for a quick sandwich. I was desperate, and I went in there, and
they won't be a sponsor.
No, I got to go
X them off the list.
It. But the lady said the lady even said
Waffle House, you can sponsor JD anytime.
That's right. They said that they even provide health care for their
Sure.
So there are some places that have, and some that.
Well,
that
I'm going to go through a whole list of them. I'm going to take a call real quick.
Absolutely.
Sick Rick, we've got a caller on line one. We got Brian from Fort Myers. Brian, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
I got 2 comments on the teachers and so-called brainwashing of the children.
Indoctrination.
Indoctrination. If the parents got involved and gave them a different perspective, maybe that child at some point can make their own intelligent decision.
You're absolutely right. But here's the thing. When you tell your child the truth, and they go back and they try to tell the teacher and they get reprimanded for it or for speaking out or whatever.
Exactly. Then that teacher needs to be, addressed in that situation.
But who's going to address the teacher when the policy's coming from the federal government? The federal government is what sets the curriculum now. You don't have curriculum at the school level coming from the school board anymore. It's coming from the federal government. No, it's coming from the federal government. That's where curriculum is coming from.
I know teachers too, and they're getting their curriculum from the state. They're not getting it from the federal government.
That is absolutely incorrect. They are getting it from the federal government.
He's telling you.
No, I already know. My wife is set on the boards of some of the schools. We already know where the curriculum comes from.
If you're a teacher and you can voice your opinion on this,
how would a teacher know where their curriculum's coming from? They don't. You got to go to the principal, and then you got to go to the district leaders at that point.
I think a teacher probably has better access to a principal than, on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not saying that,
Well, I know I have access to the school board, and I've had them in here, and I know for a fact where the curriculum comes from.
I can't believe that every curriculum from Florida to Michigan to Texas to wherever is all the same.
Well, look, here's this. Here's this. If the federal government can tell the schools what the kids can eat in lunch, then you know it's coming from the federal government. When they've got food police.
We all know that food is crap. We know it.
But it's coming from the federal government. They're the ones setting the policy. So what's your second point? What's your second point, Brian?
They can't even afford pizza now.
That's it.
Oh, okay. All right, well, thanks for calling, buddy. Thanks for listening, man.
Let's talk about that real quick.
You're Miss Roadhog's wedding.
I know. See ya.
Let's do that. Let's talk about that real quick. That's very important. Because JD's right on this. Education policy is being influenced more and more by the federal government. The president's Race to the Top program is going to start instituting national standards for education policy across the country.
Well, I haven't looked at them, but we all know that we're slipping in education. We all know that.
But we're slipping in. We've been slipping in education since guess what?
Guess what, Smitty? 57. I don't know.
The creation of the Department of Education in 1978.
Oh, okay.
Under Jimmy Carter.
Under Jimmy Carter, the federal government got involved in education in 1957. The federal government started getting involved in education.
I said 58.
Test scores in Indiana since that time have steadily declined as the federal government has gotten more involved in education. That continues to be what's going to crush us going forward, and that's why we have kids who are not critical thinkers, who are now becoming adults.
It's because they're eating too much corn out there in Indiana.
No, it's because the federal government are pushing the curriculum, like Byron says. It's true. In 1978, they created the Board of Education, and since then they've crammed down. Well, I know you'll believe it because you have no facts to back it up.
I believe that because I just said every state is not going to have the same mandate, same function, same everything that the feds say. They all differ. You're not going to get the same education that you're going to get in Washington State and in Florida. It's the same
what do you
thing.
think what do you think the Board of Education does at the federal level? What do you think they do? You don't know. See,
they do a lot.
There you go.
That's like an opening
They're
question.
They're the ones that tell the schools how much money they'll get if they get certain dollars. They tell the state what money they're going to get. And then the state says, all right, schools, if you can get an A, if you can score an A on your FCAT, we're going to give you this many dollars. If you get a C, you can't get any money. So then that makes the teachers go, well, shoot, if we don't make these kids pass or get A's, if we don't teach them the FCAT instead of teaching them real lessons,
isn't the FCAT getting switched out now?
I hope to God it is.
It is.
Because
Bill
it's terrible.
Tremonic just came in and said that.
But for something worse. Because it's being pushed by Race to the Top and national standards.
It's worse.
Smitty, here's the problem. Let's talk about Florida. Let's talk about our conservative state legislature.
Byron, let's go to that as soon as we come back from break.
Sure.
277-9600, 775-9600. We'll be right back.
96 K-Rock.
Your home for Miami Dolphins football.
Presented by Bud Light.
Tennessee comes to Sun Life Stadium, and the Miami Dolphins are ready to serve up some home cooking. Fins, Titans, Sunday. Pregame at 11, kickoff at 1.
Presented by Bud Light. Brought to you by Shula's Steakhouse, Boatcamper Sports Bar and Grill, Cape Smoke Shop, Great Southern Products, and Executive Electronics of Southwest Florida.
On 96
K-Rock.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm, security, and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
Miramar Outlets is the place where you can shop, dine, and play. With over 140 top designer brand name outlets such as Neiman Marcus Last Call, Coach Factory, J. Crew Factory, Bloomingdale's The Outlet Store, Nike Factory Store, off 5th, Saks Fifth Avenue, the newly opened Le Macaron French Pastries, and many more. The kids can enjoy the indoor playland voted the best children's play area by parent and child. And you can end the day by dining in one of Miramar Outlet's many restaurants.
You'll save even more at Miramar Outlets during our Veterans Day Sidewalk Sale happening now through Monday. You'll find additional savings on everything from designer brand apparel to beauty and accessories, children's apparel, housewares, home furnishings, handbags, luggage, and so much more.
Join Miramar Outlets today from 5 to 7 p.m. in the courtyard between Bloomingdale's The Outlet Store and Neiman Marcus Last Call for our holiday fashion show presented by Miramar Outlets and Envy Models and Talent. View the latest holiday fashions for men, women, and children.
Great names, great savings, and great holiday fashions at Miramar Outlets, located at exit 123 off I-75 in Estero between Naples and Fort Myers.
Have you tried it? Rondeo's Pidi Chicken and Salad is now open on US 41 across from Shadowwood Preserve in San Carlos Park.
It's a Portuguese thing. Healthy food for lunch or dinner served up fast and delicious with beer and wine available.
Rondeo's Pidi Chicken is flame broiled over a hot pit of charcoal. Chicken and a side, only $5.95.
And free soft serve ice cream for dessert.
Hi, Rondeo here. Come try my Pidi chicken. It's delicious.
On US 41 next to Burger King in San Carlos Park.
When we built forthepeople.com, it was designed to be your consumer website, a place to go to learn about your legal rights. It was also built to protect you before an accident occurs. One of the most helpful parts of our site is warnings about unsafe drugs, products, and medical devices. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Right now, we're investigating and in some cases actually litigating cases involving some of these drugs you may be currently taking or have taken in the past, and likewise certain medical devices. I invite you to visit forthepeople.com now and from time to time to educate yourself and hopefully protect you and your family. This site was built for you, the consumer. And remember this, I'm not just a lawyer, I'm your lawyer. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Number 1 Billboard artist, Joe Bonamassa. Blues rock titan Joe Bonamassa, live in concert on Saturday, December 15th at the Germain Arena. Get tickets now at the Germain box office or at Ticketmaster.com. Joe Bonamassa. Don't miss your chance to experience the guitar event of the year.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, that's what my friends say too. Well, here we go.
Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. Phone lines are open. The numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. You can check our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Smitty, I want to give away we got two more free passes for the Redneck Yacht Club. It's a $100 value for this next weekend, November 16th through the 18th. 2 free weekend passes for someone and their guest. They can stay from Friday till Sunday, have a great time, listen to the live bands. I'm going to be there doing a live remote from 10 to noon on Saturday. Stop by and see us at the K-Rock tent. We got a bunch of free giveaways. So this is the rules for this one. First caller that calls in to talk to Tripod Billy and sings the song from Johnny Cobbler, "Take Me on Your Buggy, Take Me on Your Buggy," you will win the tickets. Johnny Cobbler got to sing the song. Phone numbers are 277-9600 or 775-9600. Good luck. All right, we've got a couple callers on the line. I've got D on line 2 from Estero. D, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
Hi, I just discovered your radio station, and I'm going to be a faithful listener from now on.
Oh, we appreciate that.
I'm a retired teacher from New Jersey, 28 years, and needless to say, I was not very popular with my colleagues because of my conservative standing.
Good for you, D.
And I've been fighting desperately for over 4 years now with this president and his policies, and to try to educate as many people without talking to the choir about where he's really coming from. And unfortunately, we have the mainstream media that does not really they're not journalists. I mean, they're not giving a true picture of what's going on. They cover for him, as we all know. But getting back to your question before about where curriculum is designed, it certainly is a product of the federal government, because those are the ones, as you mentioned, that have the mandates for the different states.
That's right.
And school districts, and that's how they get their money, and that's how their curriculum is written. Also, there's a book company, I believe it's in Texas, where they rejuvenate history books in particular, and they are responsible for a lot of the misinformation that's given to our students, because obviously they're a liberal organization, and they get paid $3 to sell books to schools. The only thing I'm worried about right now is that a lot of schools, especially in New Jersey, they're not doing books anymore. They're going online and doing things with iPads and so forth. So, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work for information sources and streams of information, but I guess that remains to be seen. But you are correct. It does come from the federal government, and if this president gets his way, he's going to make sure that our children are indoctrinated into socialism, and he's got a damn good start.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. I appreciate you backing me up on this one. As a 28-year veteran of the New Jersey school system, thanks a lot.
Let me just read you. I was checking that up. This is
Are you on Wikipedia?
No, it's the same one that has Obama winning the election. It says, fed up with the FCAT? It says, well, now you can get a peek of the test that will replace it, okay? The Partnership of Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers, or they call themselves PARCC, has released this first batch of test questions, I guess. So we are going to replace it. Now, I don't know what it's going to be replaced with, but at least it's going to be replaced.
Right.
Now, do you lay that at the foot of Rick Scott now, or do you say to the feds up in Washington D.C. it's the problem?
I don't know. Did it say where it came from? Did it say who developed the? Is it just for our state?
It says Florida.
Okay.
Florida's starting the new transition.
I lay it at the feet of both. Here's why. Not just Rick Scott per se, but Tallahassee and Washington. What's happening in Tallahassee and in all state state capitals is that we're using federal money to plug budget holes.
Yes.
And in exchange for what the feds want done, they're creating these new scenarios to comply with the feds for the money.
It's leverage. It's like a leverage system.
Yeah, what JD was saying, try to clean it up. That pretty much they bribe the system. So that
they do. They bribe the states with money, and they say, look, if you'll do this with your education, you'll be you can have allocated this much money. But if you don't, we're going to take additional money away that you're already getting if you do it a different way.
That's right.
So the states have to decide if they can afford it on their own or not.
The good thing is we have Rick Scott. He'll take a bribe, so we're looking good.
Hey, listen, I've got a caller.
Isn't Charlie Chris your most favorite?
Charlie's going to be the next governor of Florida in 2 years.
Absolutely.
Run, Charlie, run!
Byron, I don't put it past the morons that voted. They'll probably vote for Charlie Chris.
Absolutely. And then you guys will be crying again like you did with Obamacare in the election.
Let me take this caller real quick. I've got Dylan on line 1. I think this is my son.
Oh.
Dylan, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Dad.
Hey.
You guys were talking about food stamps earlier, and there was a couple kids in my school that were talking about Obama and how they wanted him to be reelected.
Why?
And I thought that, I explained to them, how would you like it if Obama's stealing money from your parents, giving it to those fat, lazy people who sit on their butts all day and don't do anything, and give money to them for food stamps when they don't work, and your parents have to give them money? How would you feel?
That's a great call, buddy, and clearly I've been indoctrinating you. Thanks a lot, man. I'll see you in a little bit. Well, there you go. So that's a good question for kids. I wonder what the kids would say when they get that question posed to them.
The big problem we have is kids don't understand economics. They're not being taught it. They're not being taught, frankly, by their parents. I've helped people in my community, down in Naples, people who are, middle income people, low income people. My wife and I teaching them budgets, household budgets. And you know what they would say when we're done? They'll be like, wow, if I had known this when I was 20, how far ahead we would be. The truth of the matter is we're not teaching our kids this in school. The president in the campaign, he brought up the fact he wanted to hire 100,000 teachers. Smitty, you know how he's going to do that? Through Department of Education funding, by putting new mandates in the kitty, if you will, for the states.
Sure.
If you hire this amount of teachers to comply with this new mandate, we'll give you an extra couple $100 million. That's how they were going to do that.
Well, the system in general is just totally fouled up. I mean, the education system has been totally fouled up for years. Like you said, for many, many, many years. We've slipped. I don't know what we are in the world now. It's like 17th or something in education. And it does have to be fixed.
But see,
here's but I'm not going to blame it all on the feds.
But I don't know where those statistics are coming from. I don't know what they're judging us on in these statistics. We're ranked 17th in the world.
Something like that.
For what? What's the foundation? What's the statistic based on?
Well, it's probably
who graduates, who goes to college, grade point average,
absolutely. It's probably
type of classes offered.
It's probably a whole bunch of stuff. I don't have the list here. Byron doesn't. I don't know.
If we're so bad, why do those countries flock here to live? If we're so bad, why do they still come here?
It's the land of the free and democracy, baby. You can vote.
Well, I've got a great
of,
example of what people will do for nothing and what they won't do to work for it. So earlier, I did a little test run. We've offered 4 tickets twice now for free to the Redneck Yacht Club for people, just the first or third caller. They don't have to do anything. So they call in, they just don't have to do nothing. They call in, they get free tickets. I put out there for 2 free tickets. If all they do is call in and sing a little jingle of a song, no one calls. Why? They don't want to work for it. So here you go. They'll call in for free, but they ain't going to call in to work for it. I'm telling you. Hey, it's a statistic we can use right now. It's got to be a scientific poll.
What do you want to stand on 75 and we'll sing for food? I mean, what do you want to do, man? Come on.
All they got to do, they don't even have to look it up on the internet. I'll give them the words. If the first caller that calls in and sings the Johnny Cobbler tune, it goes like this: "Take me on your buggy, take me on your buggy." That's all you got to say, you lazy people. Nice. Call in, you'll get 2 free tickets to the Redneck Yacht Club for next weekend. It's $100 value.
You lazy SOBs, you call up right now. We got some free tickets.
Take me on your buggy.
You got to sing, you SOB.
I could have told them 2 hot women could do it. Take me on your buggy. Call it in and say it. You'll get 2 free tickets.
Oh, my.
Hey, listen, let's get back to the, you know what? I know you wanted to get to Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
But I want to also just go through real quick. So, because of this fallout, and Byron already mentioned Boeing that's laying off people, we've got other companies. Welch Allen, company that manufactures medical diagnostic equipment in central New York, announced September they're going to lay off 275 employees. Dana Holding Corp, they've got to cut 24 million, not employees but dollars. Stryker laying off 1,170 positions. Stryker is a medical device manufacturer, and the reason why they're laying people off is because the new is it part of Obamacare?
It's part of Obamacare. The new tax
they're
on
raising
medical
like 3% or
device
something on medical device manufacturers.
Do you know why they had to spend too much money getting it to Romney to try to get him elected? Now they're broke, so now they can't afford health care. That's what the problem is.
And then you got Medtronic laying off 1,000 jobs. You got Smith and Nephew 770, Abbott and Lab 700, Covidin 595. There's a whole list of them all laying off people.
They tried to buy the Congress. They tried to buy the Senate. They tried to buy everybody.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Hey, Smitty,
they spend so much money.
We got somebody from your home state calling in.
Oh,
we got Dempsey from Maryland, line
boy.
1.
What's up, Demps?
Dempsey, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and
calling in a couple years
Obama
ago.
Smitty over here.
Hey, how y'all doing? Doing your show again.
Good, man.
Buddy. Thank you.
I'm just wondering here. Whew, that's a pretty one-sided deal. Oh my mercy! I was just wondering if maybe you could even out next time around. Have like a Democrat on the other side of the table with Smitty.
I can't. He can't do it. He can't do it, Dempsey. He likes to be up month after month.
Smitty's as good as any two Democrats.
Week after week.
That boy takes a spanking every week.
Not today. Not today, buddy. Today is my day to shine, my brother.
Hey, he works harder than any two Democrats.
And Byron, I just want to tell you, man, you're really up to speed on everything. I'm not an expert or anything. I was an independent my whole life, and I kind of leaned toward the Republican side.
We appreciate that.
And I just couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't do it. I'm telling you, I seen a man flip flop so bad.
So you vote for the communist?
Oh my God! I guess I did.
Jesus, you got a guy that actually knows how to run a company, and you vote for a guy who's never ran anything but his mouth?
Oh,
come on, Dempsey. I had more faith in you than that.
I can't trust him.
Can't trust him.
I hear you. Well, I'll say this, Dempsey. Romney was one of my and I've told many people this even on this show, Romney was one of my very last choices of the Republican primary candidates. I wanted everybody else but him, just because he was a governor of a liberal state, and I knew he had been a Democrat before for his whole life, so it's hard to make that transition for me. But, like Newt Gingrich said many times when he was up on the stage, every one of those guys was infinitely more qualified than the current guy running this administration.
Well, he was the last choice in this election, I can tell you that.
I'm just like you. I've been in business for 25 years.
Yes, sir.
This year is my 25th year in business.
You see it getting better?
You should quit and go on welfare.
4 years has been bad, and I can't say it was Obama. Yeah, I can't. Maybe he screwed up on some of the stimulus, put the stuff in the wrong place, and everybody can't be right. But he definitely was in a ditch before he got started.
I hear you, buddy.
I think he pretty much says it all. That's what most people are saying. That it was a bad deal. He got a bad deal, and they're going to give him 4 more years.
Hey, Dempsey.
I just pray that it gets better. Like I say, I'm a business owner for the last 25 years. I can't see it getting any worse. I'm telling you, this past year has been absolutely the worst.
Hey, Dempsey, if you want to see how it gets worse, look at Russia, buddy.
Oh, it can
look
get
at Russia.
Worse.
It can get much worse. It sure can.
Okay.
All right, hey man, thanks for the call. We appreciate you listening all the way up in Maryland, man.
All right, bye.
All right, we've got a winner finally. Pete stepped up from Big Cypress. Pete sang the song on line 2.
Is he gonna sing it live?
Yeah, Pete, you're on the Ledge Radio Show.
How you doing?
Hey man, let's hear that song real quick.
What's that?
Let's hear the song, man. You're the winner.
Pete. Oh, take me on your boogie, take me on your boogie.
That's close enough. All right, man, you won the 2 tickets.
You're killing us.
Have you ever been up there, man?
No, I haven't. I've heard a lot about it. I've been wanting to go over there.
Well, now you got it. You got 2 free tickets. It's $100 value for you and your girl, or you and a buddy. Go up there and find your girl. I don't care, but it'll be a good time next weekend. Go back on hold, and Tripod Bill's going to get all your information. All right.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, man.
For calling in, buddy.
So finally, we got somebody that works hard for their money.
Hard for my money.
We got another call. Let's take this gentleman too. We've got Ron on line 3. Ron, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
How you doing? Listening to the station, you were talking about Papa John's having to raise the prices up on pizzas. I just don't understand how much money that they, need to make. I mean, the revenue's in the billions. The owner of Papa John's, his houses and his property is like the size of a stereo. I mean, of course, I'm exaggerating, but how much money do they really need to make?
As much as they want. It's a private company. It's not a non-profit company.
What he's saying is be socially conscious. I understand where he's coming from.
No, he means be equal and fair. equal pay for equal work. That's the communist way.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on, it's not like that. It's like, how much, do you really need to make that much money?
Ron, let me tell you, buddy. Ron, I own a business.
I'm with you, Ron.
I know you are.
I'm a business owner myself. I own a business myself.
Well, are you in the business to employ people or to make money for you and your family?
Well, both.
You're in business to employ people? Do you own a staffing agency?
No. I mean, I have employees.
I do too. I have employees too, but I'm not in business to employ people. I'm in business to make money for myself and my family. If to get to that goal, I employ people and I make other people's families happy by providing them a good wage for what they do, then that's the way it works, and they're happy too because they got a job. But I'm in business to make myself money.
It's like, take for instance, we were going to go to Disney World a few months back.
That's a great story.
And right when we get ready to order our tickets to go up there, they raised the tickets prices up.
I hate that.
And it was going to cost us an extra like $300 for us to go for just the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And about 3 weeks later, they reported their earnings for the third quarter, and at record profits in the history of the company. They made $1.75 billion in the third quarter.
Sweet.
Well,
and it's like, the third quarter, the year prior to that, was $1.45 billion.
Well, there's an easy solution. You can boycott them like I do sometimes. When I see a company that I think has raised their prices above where I want to pay, I don't go there anymore. And eventually, if people don't go there, they'll lower their prices back down. That's called competition.
So what was your point?
Well, I think, they're all talking about having to, lay off people and this and that. It's not like the companies are not making enough money.
I hear.
All right. Well, that's I guess your opinion for their company, but it's a private company.
If that's the thought process we're going to take, then we're going to have a lot more companies go out of business.
Thank you for calling us on that
man. Guys, let's get back to this after the break. This is our last break before the end of the show.
I'll sing a song.
And you will sing a song. All right, 277-9600, 775-9600. We'll be right back.
You never know what we're going to say or do. Take 96K Rock wherever you go with the iRadio Now app.
iRadio Now.
Available for free on all smartphones, including Android. The biggest personalities in radio entertainment. Available on one app.
iRadio Now.
The iRadio Now app for all smartphones.
Just go to the App Store and search iRadio Now and download it for free.
Brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District, Coconut Point.
Visit 96krock.com for more information.
iRadio Now.
96K Rock.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small, secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm security and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
Southwest Florida knows that Duncan's Diamonds has the best prices, but it's their quality, selection, and excellent customer service that keeps customers coming back year after year. And Duncan's Diamonds customers have great things to say.
Their sales team is extremely helpful and knowledgeable.
I shopped at other jewelry stores, but there's no place like Duncan's Diamonds. And I tell all my friends to come here every chance I get.
At Duncan's Diamonds, I found everything I was looking for. Great designers. I was awfully impressed with their Hearts on Fire diamonds and jewelry. They're really amazing.
The customer service is excellent. You're free to take your time and browse without being hassled, and all your questions are answered.
I've been to every chain jewelry store, department store, and independently owned stores. None of them beat Duncan's Diamonds prices. They are the best.
I had some jewelry to sell, and by far, Duncan's Diamonds paid me the most cash and paid on the spot.
Duncan's Diamonds puts your mind at ease. Best quality at the best price.
Discover Duncan's Diamonds, Fort Myers on US 41, and in the Gulf Coast Town Center, where you'll find the largest selection at the best prices in Southwest Florida.
The nicest used cars anywhere in the country are right here in Naples. And they're all on NaplesUsedCars.com. Hundreds of extra clean, low-mileage used cars cars at a fraction of their original prices. All makes, all models. This weekend only, over 500 quality pre-owned vehicles are on sale. Imports like Toyota, Nissan, and Mitsubishi, all on sale starting under $4,000. Domestics like Ford and Chevy, all on sale starting under $5,000. Even our luxury vehicles are on sale this weekend only. Mercedes, BMW, and Lexus, all on sale, all starting under $12,000. And don't forget, not only do we have low mileage garage kept cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, we also have select motorcycles on sale too. Browse at your own pace, 24 hours a day. Get your trade value, your interest rate, your down payment, your monthly payment. Even fill out your credit app online. Plus, we'll buy your car even if you don't buy one of ours. Visit NaplesUsedCars.com. That's NaplesUsedCars.com.
Plus tax, tag, and title fees, sponsored by Germain.
It's stone crab season, so Lansdowne Street is doing what they do best, throwing a party.
Grab your friends and get to Stone Crab Fest this Saturday at Lansdowne Street. Lansdowne Street will be serving up lots of stone crabs, shrimp, and cod fritters, plus beer and shot specials all day long. Live music starts at 2 with Big Buck and the Biscuit Boys. And stick around for Gator Nate at 8 p.m. Plus, you could win a trip to Key West courtesy of Key West Express.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
And remember, Lansdowne Street is your place for all the college and pro football action. Enjoy $10 domestic buckets for all the games, $5 flavored vodka bombs, and special game day menus. So don't miss the Stone Crab Fest Block Party this Saturday at Lansdowne Street. Look for the green awnings on US 41 just south of Old 41 in Bonita, or come in off Strike Lane and come in the back door. For more, visit lansdowne-street.com.
Lansdowne Street, a total Boston pie.
Like us on Facebook, or to get more info, text Lansdowne to 41242.
When you open a checking account, it all seems clear and straightforward. But after a while, things start to elephant sliding down a ramp slicked with peanut butter laced with goat hoof. And that's usually when it stops making sense, and half the chicken coop roosts during ping pong France, and you end up angry and confused. But at Fifth Third Bank, we listened when you said you didn't want that. So we made our 5 new checking accounts straightforward and easy to understand. Visit 53.com/checking to find one that's right for you. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank. $50 minimum deposit required to open all accounts. Fifth Third Bank, member FDIC. Before designing our new line of checking accounts at Fifth Third Bank, we talked to thousands of people to better understand their needs. We talked to farmers, 80s movie soundtrack composers, professional duck callers, tennis players who grunt. We even talked to ocelot trainers. Listening helped us create 5 new checking solutions. Visit 53.com/checking to find the right one for you. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank. $50 minimum deposit required to open all accounts. Fifth Third Bank, member FDIC.
Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. Phone lines are open. The numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. You can check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. All right, Smitty, I know you got a song you wrote.
Well,
you wrote, produced, got lyrics, got theme song.
Everybody remembers the Ramadan song, and I got so much good feedback from it that they wanted me to write another song.
Okay.
So I put together a little limerick here, a little ditty, and it kind of reminds me of when I went to the Romney party. So this is how it goes. I went to a Romney party to reminisce with some old friends.
I like this.
All I saw was old white men wearing some big Depends. They were all just crying with tears deep in their eyes. Caviar was hard to eat, swallowing Karl Rove's lies. But it's all right now. You learn your lesson someday. You see, you can't screw everyone and simply walk away. The party was a bummer. No one was having fun. Mormon songs and no free drinks. I should have brought my gun. So let this be a lesson. Tea party, you beware. If you fall and break your big leg, you can still get Obamacare. So it's all right now. You'll learn your lesson someday. You see, you can't screw everyone and simply walk away. Boom, boom, boom,
all right,
boom,
sweet.
boom, boom.
Very nice song, Smitty. Nice job, buddy. Nice song. You should be in a band.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, we've got a caller on line 1 that wants to talk about layoffs. This is Robert from Naples. Robert, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD, Smitty, and Byron today.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Good, man. What you got for us?
Well, I own a manufacturing plant in Texas, and we're in the plastics manufacturing business. And I'm the sole owner, but we've got 4, it takes at least 4 managers to run a shift, run a facility like that, because we have 24/7 workers. So
Sure.
we have a little over 70 employees. So we had a little come to Jesus talk here last week and decided what we were going to do if Obama got elected. And I pay pretty much most of everybody's health insurance, at least 60%, 70% of it. And now I've got to foot the whole bill. And so we decided we've got, some vendors that we really don't want anymore. We're thinking about chucking them anyway. So we decided we would get rid of some vendors and get rid of some employees.
Gotcha.
If Obama got elected. So yesterday we laid off 22 employees.
So you had to lay off 22 employees to offset the new cost you're going to incur from Obamacare.
That's correct.
I can believe it.
We pay really good. That's one of our problems. In the 20 group meeting, I pay more in a non-union state than anybody else does. The union states, they pay more, but they somewhere or another they make it up in markups. And in Texas, you don't get the same prices because of the competition that you get in the union states up north.
I gotcha.
That's right.
Well,
our margins are still slimmer, and if I'd had to pay the amount of increase in the Obamacare, I would have actually probably been losing money instead of making money, or I'd have had to give everybody a cut in pay. And once you pay them a certain amount, you can't take it away.
Let me ask you a question. You're in Texas. You can plug your company if you'd like. Feel free. Who's your big competition out there? Who's your guys that you guys got to tackle?
We've got hundreds of plastic manufacturing companies, injection molds, extrusion companies. We've got hundreds of them out there. There's not one. They're all just like me. They've got 50, 60, maybe. There's some of them that has a lot of the extrusion companies make PVC pipe and make rubber extrusion for going over power lines or going over copper wire, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's hundreds of them. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you. We've got a 20 group that we meet with, which are all a 20 group. That's where we meet quarterly, which, most people don't know what a 20 group is. But you meet with 20 different people that own a company quarterly, like every 3 months, and you discuss what you're doing, what they're doing, and try to make your company a little better for the employees and a little more profitable.
Do you have any competition from the Chinese or anything?
No, not really, because most of it's smaller and intricate stuff, and still most of the plastic stuff, it costs more to ship it over there and then bring it back than we can manufacture it for.
Yeah. Hey, Robert,
that's good.
Robert, I think what Smitty's getting at is he's trying to find a chink in your armor to find out why you had to lay off people.
I don't
and he's trying to blame it on China, and luckily he couldn't figure that.
I'm trying to find out more about his business. I don't know how he. The
bottom line is, I think the point Robert's making is that the Obamacare mandate is going to cost him 22 employees to try to offset the cost of the new insurance premium hike. Sure. And Robert, I feel your pain, brother. If I was a larger company, I'd be feeling it too.
Now, I was also planning on starting another facility. We already found the building over around the Golden Gate Airport area and that little area.
Mm-hmm.
And if Romney got elected, and we probably would have brought on another 50, 60 people, because there's a lot of extrusion that goes on here for PVC pipe.
Sure.
And so forth, and it's all shipped in from Georgia. And I could probably manufacture it cheaper here than I could them paying the freight for the shipping. But that's another question. There's
but you're
no
not.
way I'm doing it.
You're not going to do. Are you not going to open the plant now in Golden Gate?
Yeah, can't even. That's impossible.
I got you.
You know what? It's funny. Smitty even talked to see if you try to go there. You try to understand what was going on in his business.
Yeah. Hey, Robert, thanks for the call, buddy.
Thank you so much, man.
Thanks for listening.
And you were trying to understand what's going on in Robert's business, and this is the problem with heavy government mandates. There's no way for the president or any bureaucracy to ask those intricate, specific questions about a person's business. And this is why top-down regulations like Obamacare is going to be disastrous, because there's no way you can fit it into everybody's business model, into everybody's personal business situation. It's a broad brush, which means everybody's going to have to reshift their operations to meet the broad brush.
I will say this: the Obamacare that they're talking about, the health care. I will say first and foremost, is somebody had to give. Something had to give. Now, am I happy that it was done? For some people, I am. But is it a perfect thing that he's got out there? No. It's just going to be flawed. It's going to be flawed. And
coming up with a bad idea is not good.
But then why would we pass something that's flawed?
Because it's new and nobody really wanted to.
Nobody wanted to read it. Nobody wanted to read it. First of all,
it's new in the United States. We don't have it.
That's not true. There are offshoots of this plan in Maine and yes, Massachusetts. It's called Romneycare. And there are offshoots of this plan in both of those states. They have caused problems. This is not a new thing.
Let's see. Now they have like 9 or 10 days, I think it is, to start putting the exchange commissions out there, and they're going to start putting these things out.
I think they actually gave an extension.
And you've heard it here first. Those exchange programs are going to raise the cost of care for everybody in this nation. Because when you have these exchange programs, they don't take into account the individual situations going on the ground. They have to paint with a broad brush to bring as many people into the system as possible.
We'll see.
Well, here's the problem is that folks like Smitty, they're back there. Well, we'll see. We don't think it's going to happen. But when it does happen, they go, well, shoot, we didn't see that one coming.
Well, so far, I've been pretty right on the election, and Obama
you've been right on the election. You're right.
The next thing they're going to do is put the Supreme Court judges in, and then you guys
will
real quick talk about that.
Real quick, there's something I know you got it on your top page right there. Marco Rubio went off to Iowa because
you know what that means?
He's gearing up to run for president in 2016.
He better start doing it now.
Let me just say this right now because I think Marco Rubio is a wonderful talent, a wonderful politician in our party. But if we as a party, as Republicans, don't start having real relationship building efforts in the major cities in this country, he will lose too.
Yes, he will.
Because here is what is not being talked about. It wasn't immigration policy. It's not pandering to ethnic groups. It's about building relationships on the ground with people. A good friend of mine, Larry Wilcoxon, ran for clerk of the court in Hendry County. He campaigned almost exclusively in Clewiston and Harlem, Florida, which is black and which is Democrat. He's black and a Republican.
A lot of Hispanics, too.
And a lot of Hispanics. And the reason why he got 30% of that vote is because he was in those communities day after day, on the ground, knocking on doors, and they got to respect him as a person and understand his ideas. And that's what the party needs to do.
You're a commodity, and the Republicans, man, they love you. They're bringing you on, brother.
But here's the problem. It's not just being black doesn't mean you're going to get the black vote.
No, but they do need you.
Yeah, but
they do need you. Don't dismiss that.
I see. Here's my view on it. People vote for people. They don't vote for monolithic blocks. The reason why the Democrat Party does well in these precincts is twofold. Number one, they've been building these relationships for decades. They didn't just start overnight. Number two,
correct.
Yeah, they do offer free stuff. And listen, my wife and my son have this little ditty. It's fun. They say, well, if it's free, it's for me.
Yeah.
And then not to degrade them, they're just saying, look, if somebody's going to give something away, yeah, I want some of it
I'd rather get it for free than pay for it, right?
Most people will go for that.
Well, that's because they don't realize it comes from someone that had to pay for it.
But you have to take care of your people here, too. You have to take care. If you just say, I have and I don't want to give, and I've got what I've made, and I've earned it, and that's it, I don't want to take care of anybody.
Then you fundamentally do not understand.
Then go to church and tell the good Lord Almighty, Mary, St. James, John, Matthew, Luke, Paul.
Don't say that in front of a Democrat group. Boy, they'll fillet you for mentioning God.
Then you do not understand
conservative
principles.
Can I get a table dance?
Because conservative principles are to bring about a civil society where we all live together in harmony and peace, Smitty.
See?
And you can't do that when people are living in lack. Our problem is you cannot coerce a utopia where everybody is taking care of one another. You can't coerce that with government regulation because you paint with a broad brush.
It's a level playing field now.
It's not a level playing field. You know what that is? It's dropping concrete on people's heads.
Sounds like sour grapes.
People are going to be running out of the way.
You lost. Sounds like sour grapes.
We lost because the argument was not laid out clearly and articulately across this nation.
Don't get mad because you guys got beat. You got beat fair and square.
Byron, before we go, now, did it seem to you that the Tea Party kind of went away?
No, I think what happened with the Tea Party movement is they actually started working in campaigns. You know what? It's almost similar to what the left did almost 40 years ago. They stopped doing their rallies in the street and they started working in campaigns and getting involved in politics.
So you think that's a positive thing?
Oh, absolutely.
I guarantee the GOP right now is looking at how the Democrats did it and said, now we got to do what they're doing.
It seems to me the GOP never learns from their mistakes.
They're the worst enemy.
They continue to do the same.
You know why the GOP lost? The GOP lost in these races
because they didn't have free
because
stuff?
of moderation.
There's a list of them.
Because they didn't give away free stuff.
There's a list of it.
That's
right
the
there.
anecdotal list that they throw. That's the red meat for voters.
I went through the whole list.
We don't want to do it again, but listen to them.
Because of moderation and because not being crystal clear about where we stand. I will say this about Barack Obama. He's consistent. You know where he stands.
So real quick.
He never voted on anything in the Senate.
Before we
voted
have to shut it down, do you think that the GOP should be more right conservative, or do you think they should be more moderate? What do you think?
Right versus left is not the argument.
I'm asking.
Here's
What do
the
you
answer.
think? Should they go
It's not
farther
a right
or
versus
moderate?
It is not a right or versus left thing.
You
It's
are a
conservatives
politician.
or it's not.
You are a politician.
Listen, Smitty.
Conservative principles. Most people are conservative, Smitty. Most people are. They just don't understand how that intertwines with the role of government. That's the argument that has to be laid out in this nation.
That they couldn't stand for 8 hours in line because they're old white folks and it was too hard on them, so they lost the vote.
But see, here's the problem though, because some of your
Byron's
comments
not an old white folk, and he stood in line.
He's rare.
And listen, some of your comments, I understand it. I take them at this. Flip comments are why elections are being won and lost in this country. They are not solving the problems of this nation.
But it's truthful.
It's not on the issues.
Even though it's tongue in cheek. Even though it's a tongue in cheek joke, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Hey guys,
go ahead.
We got to wrap it up
next week.
Yeah, next week I'm going to be doing a little live thing out at the Redneck Yacht Club, live remote. Smitty will be in the studio. I got Joe David out sitting in for me.
If I come out there with my cowboy hat,
we'll see where Byron is. I don't know, but we'll see y'all next week. Ledge Radio Show, 96K Rock.
Find out where 96K Rock will be next. 96K Rock is constantly hitting